Alright, so in this lesson we're going to go over how to add and subtract whole numbers and decimals to the hundredths place using the standard algorithm. The first thing I want to do is go over like where the hundredth place is, because that's what this focus is on, and kind of we're only going to go up to the thousands place. So like say you had a number 1372.61. So that's 1,372 and 61 hundredths. So here we have our decimal point, then we have the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and the thousands place. And then to the other side of the decimal point, to the right, you have what we call the tenths. This is your tenths. And then next to the tenths, you have the hundredths. Just slide over a little bit. The hundredths. So when you're making a number for your quest this week, this is the type of number you want to make. So I'm going to kind of go over how to create these numbers and then add and subtract them. Alright, let's go ahead and make a number. It'll have a total of 6 digits. We'll do 2,764 and 97 hundredths. It's almost looks a little bit like $2,764.97, because it should. Hundredths and cents are the same thing. That's one of the most common ways you're going to see decimals. Now let's add that to 1,359, and let's kind of put a 0 here and then put a 4. So this would be red, and 4 hundredths. Because you can have a 0 in the tenths place and only have 4 hundredths, like having 4 cents. And we're going to add these together. So we use our standard algorithm. You come back up here, you notice it said add numbers using the standard algorithm. All that is just the regular way of adding. How do you normally add numbers? Where you line up your place values, just like I've done here. I've lined up my hundredths, my tenths, my ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. I've lined up my place values, and I'm going to do 7 plus 4. I'll have to regroup. I'll add that up with the 9. I'll keep doing that like this. So watch how I do that. So 7 plus 4, that is 11. I'm going to regroup the 1 because I'm going to put a 1 there. Put the 1 here. 1 plus 9 is 10. So I put a 0 down and regroup the 1. Notice how I can completely ignore the decimal. You don't even need to worry about it. You just add like you normally would using the standard algorithm. And for the time being, we ignore the decimal. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 9. This would actually have been easier if I did 1 plus the 9 and then added the 4. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry that 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 3. This would have been easier if I did 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. Okay, 10 plus 1 is 11. 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. Kind of went 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. So now I can kind of think, okay, I'll put my comma there, and then you just this is how you do it. You just bring the decimal point down, keep it in the exact same place when you're adding, and you do the same thing when you subtract. Now I have 4,124 and 1 hundredth. I only had 1 hundredth in the place value here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to check this by adding up my sum, or subtracting, taking my sum, and then subtracting one of these two numbers to get the other one. That's how you're going to check your addition. So let me kind of move this up here so I can see it, and then let's write this. 4,124 and 1 hundredth minus 2,764 and 97 hundredths. I'm just going to subtract these two numbers to check to see if my addition's correct. Now I should get the other addend, the other number I added. So 1 minus 7 I can't do, so I'm going to need to regroup. But then when I go here to the 0, there's nothing, so I have to go to the 4 in the 1's place. You regroup just like you would. You're ignoring the decimal until the end. So this 4, I'm going to take a 1, and a 1 is worth 10 tenths. So now I have, or 10 tenths. So now I have 10 tenths. But I'm going to take one of these tenths. Now I have 9 tenths. And I'm going to put that into the hundredths. So now I have 11 hundredths. Because each place value to the left is worth 10 of the one to the right of it. So now I do 11 minus 7, and that is 4. And 9 minus 9 ends up being 0. Some people like to bring down the decimal as they add across. You can do that. It's going to go right there. 3 minus 4 I can't do, so I'm going to have to regroup again. So I come to the 2. I'm going to take 2 tens. Take one of those tens, put it into the ones. Now I have 13 ones. 13 minus 4 is 9. 1 minus 6 I can't do again, so I have to go regroup. 0 hundreds. Now we have 11 tens. 11 minus 6. 11 here, 6 there. Minus 6 is going to be 5. 0 minus 7, again, I can't do, so cross out my 4 thousands. 3. This will be 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Put my comma. 1,359 and 4 hundredths. And look, it matches. I've done it. I did it. I added and subtracted decimals to the hundredths. Let's see, is that what I want to do? Add and subtract whole numbers and decimals. So we focus mainly on decimals, but to do whole numbers exactly the same. The only difference is you just bring the decimal down. You pretty much ignore it using the standard algorithm. So we used the standard algorithm, went to the hundredth place, add and subtract whole numbers. Yes!